Me a drink, bartender.
Hey guys, how's it going? I'm hoping you're having a happy Saturday. Welcome to the table flip for this Saturday. It is the eve of Christmas Eve. I hope everyone is doing well today. Uh, got a good show, hopefully for you today. We're gonna talk about the new announcement from Atgames, the Killer Instinct cab that's coming out. We're also going to talk about the Grinch. The tournament that is going on now is the Grinch. And if you have not got your scores in yet, you need to do that. That tournament's going on until January 1st, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. Before we get started, though, time to do a little bit of a shilling commercial, in my opinion. That's been in the community news this week of shilling and shilling light. I don't have any shilling beverages, but I want to start out with Coke Zero because we do have Coke Cherry Zero, and that's a good crisp sound and that's a good taste. But that's not what I'm shilling. No, when you can't afford Coke Zero Cherry, I endorse the Kroger brand uh, Cherry Zero sugar. Just as good, sort of. Not as quite as crisp as the Coke, but is what it is. So, welcome. We're gonna jump. We're gonna talk about the at games and the new arcade Killer Instinct cab. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later, but first we want to get into the pinball, and we want to talk about the Grinch. This tournament is put on by MCAP. It's not an official at games sanctioned tournament. I'm hoping at games will crank up some more sanctioned games here in the near future. But this one is from MCAP, and if you're not familiar with MCAP, join him over on his Discord page. If you have your PC and Pinball FX, he hosts a ton of other tournaments. At Games is just one of the tournaments that he has in the mix. And for this Christmas, we have the Grinch. So I will pull up a preview of that. Yeah, that tournament is back this Christmas season. You must turn on your At Games device for this reason. MCAP and At Games to table the Grinch. Grab your families and friends. Compete. It's fun. It's quick. The goals are the story of the Grinch you know. You must stop Christmas by hitting the lit rose. Steal the stockings. Steal the feast. And if you can hit the right target and make the Grinch's heart grow, return the presents for the multi-ball show. Now before you post to the leaderboards, you might have to clear your 5th highest score. The tournament will run from the 20th to the 1st, and in Whoville, that's not a curse. Play this table, you won't be bored, as I know I will see you on the leaderboards. Happy holidays. All right, that was a little preview, but we got another special person here with us today. I'm going to add that.
Hey, what's happening? What's happening? Glad to be here.
What is
glad
going
to
on,
be
Papa
here?
Brad?
Glad to be here.
Glad you're here. How are you this eve of Christmas Eve?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How about you?
Can't complain. I saw a little bit of your stream earlier. Caught me out on the road. I was hoping to see the rest of it, and one thing led to another. And if you haven't been to the stores today, I went to the grocery store, and I think I had to park 6 miles away It is
Is it
ridiculous.
insanity?
It is insanity. It is insanity out there. But anyhow, man, great to have you here. Cool. So have you put in your scores yet for the Grinch?
Yeah. I played a little bit last night.
Awesome. I have not put in my scores yet. Plan to do that today. So and that's what we're talking about is the Grinch here. This tournament, like I said, is run from MCAP. It's going until January 1st. It's for bragging rights. So, if you haven't got your score in, and we could talk a little bit about that. We'll talk let me see if I can pull this up here and put some things off. Sorry, I'm still learning this live thing, guys. So someone present the Grinch is really good for the whole family. If you're new to pinball, it's the storyline, and I've got a few little screenshots here to talk a little bit about getting through and navigating this game.
Awesome.
So if you notice at the bottom of the Grinch here, I think there's 8 levels that you start out. If you complete the 7th level, the final level is actually the multi-ball, and the multi-ball is the final stage, and that's the stage you want to get to, and that's when you get all the colorful balls, and you get an extra game too. So if you can complete it, you'll roll that score, you'll get the extra game. But the very first thing that you'll have is Steal the Stockings, which is up here in the top corner of the playfield there, and those little green. I don't know if you can see my little cursor or not, my mouse cursor, but at the top left-hand corner there, there's a little drop targets that you want to hit. You want to knock all those
upper left playfield.
Upper left playfield, yeah. You want to hit those drop targets. That's going to be the first goal. Now, one thing about this game, once you complete a goal, you want to try your best not to let your ball drain. You don't want to lose that ball because it does take a second or two once you complete the score for it to roll over to the next one. So if you hit all of those drop targets and your ball immediately drains and you don't wait a second or two for the next goal to light up, well, guess what? You're going to have to complete that goal all over again. So it's real critical once you complete a goal is to keep that ball in play as much as possible. Now, if you'll notice the Grinch right below.
I got a question. Once you do a goal, is it done though? Like let's say I hit all the drop targets on the upper play field, and I do the Steal the Stockings. Is that mode done at that point?
That mode is done, and you can tell if you look at the Grinch at the bottom of the play field there, where it'll light up solid. It'll stay solid. Now, if you're up there at the top, let's say you're hitting those drop targets, and something happens and you lose a ball, and of course, your next ball that you shoot up, it's going to put you in that area.
That's where it starts from. So that's probably going to be one of the easier ones to do.
It's one of the easier ones. But let's say that ball dropped, and now you're hitting around the train area that's giving you fits, and you need to get back to that target. Well, if you notice the Grinch in his big red sack there is a lane. If you can hit, if you hit that sack, he is going to pick that ball up, and it's going to put you right back to where you need to be to complete that target. Now, as you're completing these targets, if you look at the bottom of the playfield where the ball drains at the bottom, you'll see that shoot again. So this can be a tricky type thing. So if you're trying to get back up to that top and you can't hit that score, you can't get up there, you can't seem to hit that bag, the ball gods are not in your favor, you may wait for that shoot again to light up. And if you see that shoot again light up, immediately let your ball drain. Let it go. Lose it. Because if you lose it, you're going to shoot again. And it's going to put you right back to where you need. That could be an advantage to get you where you need to be to complete the goal. Now, it's a double-edged sword because you don't know how long that's going to stay. I've had it. I'm just going to let it drain so I can.
And then it turns off right before it goes down the drain.
It turns off right before you lay, and you lose that ball.
Start cussing.
You start cussing. But that is a good spot, no matter what goal you're trying to complete. If you just because sometimes you're playing, you just can't get the rhythm. You just can't get that ball to where you need it to be. You may want to play that. And not just this. Go ahead.
Just to clarify, like the sack, I see his hand, and then there's a light pointing. I see two lanes on the right hand side. Which one do you have to hit to have it
It's
take you to where your goal
it's
is?
going to be on the left hand side. And here
Oh, the
again,
left hand side.
yeah, I don't know if you can see my
Okay,
cursor.
okay, that's cool. So it's
Yeah,
on the left side where you have
it's on
to
the
hit
left
to
side.
have it.
Yep, yep.
Okay,
And he will pick that ball up and he will plop you kind of near where you need to be.
okay, cool.
So that's good to know on the shoot again, and that's not just for the Grinch. That's for any pinball. You know, if you're trying to get that goal, and you know you can't get there, and you're not hitting it, you know, where it needs to be. You if that shoot again is lit up, use that to your advantage. Go ahead, you know, and it kind of breaks your brains. Like, man, I'm missing out on points on a game like the Grinch. This game here, you want to complete them goals. Now, some of the
Okay.
other Dr. Seuss games, like One Fish, Two Fish, Fox and Socks, when you compete those goals, if you're on goal mode, you're really not racking up any points by not completing those. You have to complete those goals to be able to get the points. This game here is a little different. You can still rack up the points if you hit the drop targets up here at the top, Beast and Mary. Even if you're not hitting the goals, you repeat those. It's 5 million, 10 millions. But completing the goals, I think the first one is like 30 million points. So you're going to get a ton of points up there for the
Oh yeah,
first
30
one.
million, 30 million. That put me at a better score than I got, I think, playing all last night. So
Yeah,
I better get on these goals, high
yeah,
scores and
yeah.
tab.
The goals
There's more points
really
in that than just playing.
exactly. So I'm gonna pull this one off and I'll pull another one up. Let's see here.
The first goal is called Steal the Stockings.
I believe the first one is still the stockings.
And you hit the top targets where it drops you off with the two
Yep.
flippers at the very top left of the play field. Okay.
Absolutely. And move that.
You can't trap the ball and hold it up there. So you can actually skillfully hit all those shots. Those are not hard shots to hit up in that upper play field. That one should be completely doable.
Yeah, that one's doable. The next one, if I get this correctly, is even easier. So yeah, pull these. Actually, went ahead and added it to screen, make the screen big here. So the next one is steal the presents. So I don't know if you can see that arrow where it's pointing. There's a little bump target, and it's up there where that train is
Okay.
at. You just want to roll over that. I think there's six little bumpers there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe five bumpers
Okay.
that you want to hit. Knock those down, and you can. That's all it is for that goal.
So just run over the presence in the train area.
Run over
That
exactly.
goal. That's easy enough.
On here.
Easy enough, but you don't see it in motion. That train is making laps, and it is a chaos element in the table that it's constantly making circles up there. So everything's in motion.
Yep.
The still picture won't give you that, but the train actually it runs across the track the whole time.
Yep. And we got Gregory in the chat. Hey, welcome, Gregory. And Gregory pointed out that there is no time limits on the modes, and he is correct on that. So you've got all the time in the world on the modes. And you can get some more, and he's correct. You can get some some good points on the center of the playfield with that train. But yeah, roll over those drop targets there, and here again, that's like another 20, 30. That's a pretty easy one to hit. That train can be a little troublesome, for sure. But yeah, that's another one. Now, the next bump target is probably one of the most challenging ones. I'm gonna pull this off. Talk about this. Bear with me here. Move that. Move that. Present that. Next slide. Still the Who Feast. So this one, you got to get back in that top upper left-hand playfield there. And here again, I don't know if you can see my cursor.
So like if you're not in the upper play field, you have to get it in the bag to get it to drop back in there.
You need to get it back in the bag.
You get it back, and that's on the left-hand side of the play field where you have to shoot that spot to get it back in the bag.
Yep. So you either got to get it in the bag. If you lose your ball, you'll be put back up there, or if you wait till shoot again, and you let the ball
Okay, if
drain.
there's a shoot again, let it drain, and it'll automatically drain right where you need it to be.
It'll
Okay.
automatically drain you and get you where you need to be. Now, when it shoots back up here, you've got to hit this target 3 times. You got to go through that spinner. This is probably, I don't know if I'd say this is the hardest one, but it's
It is a hard
definitely
loop. I've hit it a few times, but that is hard to get to.
Yeah. Now, to get through this, if that right side, and here again, can you see my mouse cursor move around on the screen?
No,
Okay.
that's okay. We'll just talk.
Okay. So you see those 2 flippers there. That right flipper, you can raise that flipper and trap that ball.
Mm.
And it takes some practice. You can kind of bounce that ball a little bit, kind of volley that ball.
Mm.
And if you hit it at the right angle, you can get it through that loop.
You can get to make a loop through the right flipper. See, I would have thought you would have to shoot with the left, but you can actually do it with the right as well, huh?
You can do it with the right as well. Now you can get it through the left flipper, but you have to play kind of dangerously close.
Yeah, you have to let it at the very tip of the flipper. You have to hit it. That's when I was getting it. Like,
yeah.
But if you off even a fraction of a second, it's going down the drain and coming back to the main play field.
It's going down the drain. But that right flipper, you can volley it and you can slow it down. Sometimes on these pinball games, if you just start knocking the ball willy-nilly all around, it gets too quick. And you got to, hey, if you can trap a ball, let's stop. Let's slow down. Slow down. Let's slow down the play. But you can actually volleyball it on the on that inside flipper there. And Gregory, that right flipper works for me on a soft backhand, and I agree. Gregory, let me show that. Sorry, I'm still learning all this StreamYard stuff.
You're doing great.
So yeah, that you can actually volley that. Now here's another thing as well that you may not know. You see that arrow there that is pointing going through that way. It doesn't always register, but you can go backwards too. So not instead of going to the top, go the other way around.
Okay.
It doesn't always register, but sometimes it does register. But this one, in my opinion, is probably the hardest target to get.
And those little arrows will light up each time you make the loop. You need to get all 3 of them lit. So the first one tells you that the one loop has been done, or that's where you go.
It'll tell you where to go, so you can keep an eye on that. Also, you can train your eye on the backboard, the back glass.
Okay.
The DMD, that's the word I'm looking for.
DMD, yeah.
The DMD will actually will show you as well.
Okay.
Where you need to be. So I'll pull that one off. That there, get this out of StreamYards. You get too much in StreamYards, they don't like you.
Yeah, it starts crashing.
So let's present the next one up here. So Cindy Lou Who, after you get the Steal the Presents, is another fun one. I like the loops. Some people don't like the ramps and the rails. It's a complaint I've heard on the deluxe tables. It has too many ramps. I like the ramps, and you just have to hit these 5 times. And it doesn't matter which one you hit. You can hit the same one, 5 times. And if you get in a rhythm in some of these pinball tables, Cue Ball Wizard is a good one there. If you can hit that ramp and you get in a rhythm and just that sweet spot on the flipper to hit, to knock it through those ramps continuously and hit those continuous loops, those points can add up. So Cindy Lou is it's not that hard. It's definitely easier than the spinner up top to hit those 5 times. And I think this is like another 30 million points.
Wow.
On those. Yeah, it really rewards you.
So this is how the people are getting the big scores. Like I was like, how are they getting such high scores? That's how they're doing these modes. These are where the big points are. You got to do the modes.
You got to do the modes to get the points. So I will pull that one off.
So any ramps.
Any of the ramps on Cindy Lou Who. Let's remove that one. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Nope, we just did that one. Get Get you out of StreamYards here.
That bottom play field is a little tricky because they put those little drop targets right in front of the flippers.
Yeah.
And they ricochet fast. When you hit those drop targets that are right in the front, they're like pretty deadly.
So still the Christmas tree. Now you're going to have to go back up to the top. Now those in this picture here, the bumpers are raised. Those won't be raised when you're playing. But where it says Beast in the back there, you want to hit those 4 times. You want to hit 4 of those drop targets. Another easily doable one. The Feast, not Beast.
Do you have to hit the actual letters, or can you hit any target back there and it'll light up?
I believe you have to hit the actual Feast letters.
You have to hit the actual letters. Okay,
Yep,
so
yep.
lots of skill.
Yeah, a little bit of skill. That F, that very first one, can be a little
way
tricky.
in there, yeah.
And you have to time that with that train. That's where that train will bite you. That's when you're not a fan of that. And here again, I think that one's like 10 million, 20 million points. Lots of points there. So I'll move this one out. Get that out of there.
Grinch's Heart Loop.
Grinch's Heart Loop. This is up there with that top spinner. This is a tough one. So you see the open presence, and to the right of that, you'll see the Who combo. You see the R for Mary, the Y loop. You see the Who's combo Y.
Mm-hmm.
You have to hit that loop 8 times.
Whew.
And it's not a real easy one to hit. To hit that,
all the way on the right. That's a hard shot. You probably have to be on the. Can you back flip that one from the other flipper, or do you have to shoot from the left flipper to get that lane?
You really need to. You might be able to shoot it from that back flipper. I've only been able to hit it from that left flipper. And
left side flipper up the Y ramp. Okay.
Yep. And you really want to play with the edge, the tail of that. It can be tricky. That to me is one of the hardest ones to complete. To complete there. And here again, it's something stupid like 20, 30 million points. It's ridiculous points. So I'll pull that one off.
So is the multi-ball next? After the Grinch's Heart?
I think you've got one more.
One more, okay.
That's the multi-ball. I don't have it up here. I thought I did, but let me pull this off. I'll go back to one of these other ones. I thought I'd added it, but I didn't. But that's okay. I will talk about it. So I'm going to pull this one up. I know it says still the Christmas tree. But before we get to the last stage, before you get to that multi-ball, you'll see that Christmas tree right there in the upper corner there. There's a mode called Return the Presents. So you want to return the gifts. This is when the Grinch becomes good. So the Christmas tree itself, I think you've got to hit it 5 times. So once you hit it 5 times, to Return of the Presents is going to be the last mode. Okay. Here again, you got to keep that ball in play after you complete that mode, because if your ball drains before it rolls over to the next one,
that's cool.
You got to start the.
It's in that upper play field, huh? And
yep.
when you hit the Christmas tree, do the presents appear on the play field?
They don't. They don't appear on the play field.
They don't appear on it. So you still got a clear shot. So you're gonna have a lot of. Well, the train's gonna be blocking you, but other than that,
yeah, the train's gonna be blocking.
The train's always causing chaos up there.
That train's causing chaos, and keep an eye on your DMD, because the DMD is going to tell you how many times.
Guide you where to go. Okay.
It'll tell you how many times you have left to hit it.
And this is a beautiful virtual pinball table in action. I mean, it's just beautiful. You can just sit there and watch it.
Yeah, and it's great. It's an easy enough game. It's challenging enough, but it's easy for the whole family. You've got grandma who's 86 is going to love it. If you've got kids, 6 years old, 7 years old, everybody's going to love this game. Let me pull that off here. Well, I'll add that there. So once you complete Return of Stolen Goods. That's the last one. Then the Grinch's Feast. That is the last goal mode. Now here, there's nothing to do. The goal mode is you're going to get all those multi-ball. You're going to get multicolor balls.
This just automatically happens after you've returned the presents. It just kicks into it.
It just kicks into it.
Okay, awesome.
It just automatically. And then for me, when I'm in any multi-ball, I don't. To me, a multi-ball is just like a bonus. I don't go for skill shots. You know, I'm willy-nilly, and the only thing I'm focused on is the bottom flippers there to keep from draining that ball. I'm not watching anything in that play field. I don't care what I hit. I want to keep those in play as long as possible to rack up those points, because that's when you're really gonna grab those points there. But the beauty thing of it, once you complete this, you've completed the game, and you get an extra ball. You get an extra ball. So if that ball drains and it's your third ball and you lose, hey, you're going to get to start again. If you beat the game in one ball, hey, you still got 3 more balls.
Wow, that's cool.
So it's going to give you the extra game there.
That is awesome. I've never gotten this far. So the Grinch multi-ball, how many balls do you get for the multi-ball? Is it 3?
I believe it's 3, and they're
different colors. That's
different
cool.
colors.
That's cool. That's going to be a goal for me to hit that over this holiday break.
Yeah, and it came out, I think, last year. I think it came out, and I remember when it came out, and the multi-ball, everyone was like, how do you get the multi-ball? How do you get the multi-ball? And now people are starting to learn the tricks, and
play through the modes. That's awesome.
It's getting tougher to get those leaderboards up there, and I will pull this up just briefly. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but here's your top 10 as our last. I think I looked this morning as your top 10. So Jink Knot in second. I recognize that. Silver TT6. He's a regular. Papa Pump. He's seen those. Sick 1965. Some of these other ones are some new names, and I did notice some new ones on the board as well, which is great. I love seeing new people come on board. I think it's great if you're not a member of the Facebook groups, you know, the Pinball Mods, the official Pinball fan page. You know, I notice each week you'll see them come up and welcome new members. Unofficial Arcade Legends group is another one. Especially that one's a popular, and it's so encouraging. It's so nice to see. You see 15 people on that list or 12 people, and so that tells me that this community is growing. You know, I don't know if it's because of Atgames or if people are getting sick of Arcade 1-Up and they're coming over. I'm not sure, but I'm highly encouraged by it. I am not a professional YouTuber.
Yeah.
But you know, I created this and started this out because the tournaments, man. I guess I don't know if it's narcissism or what it was. There was one tournament and I made it on the leaderboards and it was shouted out. Man, I got to see my name, you know, on the TV there, and it's kind of like when you were a kid and you called the radio station and you got to be on the radio. You know, it's just, wow, this is great. And then it kind of went away, and it's like, why isn't anybody covering this? So it's not professional. I'm not shilling anything. It's just
shilling.
Yeah, not shilling, except for Kroger brand Cherry Zero here.
There we go. You heard it right here.
That's my shilling of it.
Don't ever become a professional YouTuber. Amateurs only, please.
Amateurs only. So, did want to mention, pull this up here, that the tournament, it is going on through January 1st. So this
plenty of time.
There's plenty of time.
If you haven't started now, if you watch the video, now you know how to play the game. I'm more excited than ever. I'm gonna start chipping away at some of these table goals and get a higher score than I have right now. Next time I play.
So, and this is the first time I've known them to do a 2-week tournament.
Perfect table for Christmas too.
And thanks to MCAP for bringing this up. Usually, Atgames usually has actual Atgames sanctioned tournament. Usually at Christmas time, they usually do one every Halloween as well. But kudos to MCAP to at least bring this back for the holidays. There are no prizes. It's just for bragging rights. So if you have any of your Atgames devices that has this game, this is a paid game, so you will have to purchase this if you don't already have it. But if you're having the kids or the grandkids over for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, man, what a table to
Yeah, this is
put
one
up.
of the best. The Dr. Seuss tables. This is one of the best ones. I mean, honestly, it's one of the best tables. Period on the Atgames pinball.
Yep, I agree.
Christmas or not Christmas.
And you might have to clear your scores. You got to beat your top fifth score to be able to hit that leaderboard, or you got to clear your scores.
Well, I didn't clear my scores. I might want to do that before I play
Yeah,
more.
clear your scores. And one thing I'd like to see in the future on tournaments that I don't like is you've got people that are trying to get that high score, and into post high score, you got to enter your initials. So you'll see one person with the same screen name, but they got 30 different initials. Don't be that guy. Come on now. You know, I get it if it's legitimately and you have kids or grandkids that want to put their own initials. I get that, but don't be that guy in the tournament, that you're going to dominate the board. Just one official score per family, please. So that's about it on the Grinch tournament. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that, Papa, or.
Oh no, that's awesome. I'm just ready to play some more.
Yeah. I don't know how that's going to work. Now, when the tournament's over, we'll probably do it on your show on Papa Brad Live.
Yeah, we can run on my stream.
We will run a rundown of who finished where.
That'd be great. Absolutely. I'm in.
Which will probably be January 2nd. We'll probably do it that evening. And
we can stream it to both my channels, so we'll get the widest footprint too. We can.
Yep.
Because it's all just for fun anyway.
It is for fun.
Playing the games. That's what it's really about, playing the games.
Yep.
Having fun.
And I am currently in the behind the scenes. Nothing's concrete yet. I'm trying to be able to secure some prizes. Now, I'm not going to be, it's not going to be, Atari, flashbacks or anything like that, but possibly, a $10 Amazon gift card, a pizza gift card. I'm trying to work on that because I wouldn't mind us running our own tournament, not an Atgames sanctioned thing, but
like an unofficial one.
Unofficial one.
2024. That could be a goal.
2024. Let's
set the goal right now.
That is
Tournament's
a goal.
Coming.
Tournament is coming. So if you have not got your scores in, please do so. So I'm gonna pull that off stage, and I guess I will roll into the other big news, and that's what everyone's talking about is the new ALU 4K. So last night, I was watching some TV, and then got a ding on my phone, and I seen it. There it was. I seen the Atgames promo trailer, and I'll be honest, I was a little annoyed.
Wow.
I was excited, but I was annoyed at the same time. I'm like, this is cool, but my God, the check hadn't even gone out for the 4K.
I know. It seems like it's so soon.
So I was a little agitated at first. I'm like, this isn't right. Then I had to think about it. I'm like, why are they doing this? So and I got to thinking about it. They kind of had to. The candy cabs that release, and I'm all about the Atgames. I'm not well versed in Arcade 1-Up and the candy cabs and but that Unico cab is coming out. They made that announcement, which I think is all in like $1,000, So most people in my mind,
it was like $1,200 plus shipping, like $1,300 unless you want just the bar tops, $1,000, I think.
Yep.
But
so a lot of people are probably like me. They don't have space. They're not going to have 21 Arcade 1-Ups. They're not going to have a bunch of arcade machines. They're going to budget for one and play multitude of games. So the candy cabs, I don't think it's out yet. I could be wrong. But you got a budget for that. Ooh, I want that candy cab. Well, now arcade, at games we've put ours out there. So now you've got options. Now
Yeah.
you don't have to be dedicated. Ooh, now, I get it's a little bit of FOMO, but it's like, hey, don't dedicate your money to that candy cab yet, or that bar cab. At games is coming. We're coming, and
Yeah.
we got Killer Instinct. So I kind of got over being that ticked off at first.
It's a
And
pretty different lane, though, really. I mean, the candy cab is like a cab with nothing in it. It's just a shell. There are no games in it. It comes with no games at all. It's just a
but
shell to put something into to play games.
can you get it with the games?
No, they don't offer it
Oh,
with the games. It's just you get like the controls and the monitor and the metal housings for the candy cab, but you have to put something in there to play anything. So that's just the starting price, really.
oh my goodness.
That 1300, that's 1300 with nothing. No
Wow.
PC, nothing to play games in it, just the hardware to connect up to something.
So that
So
shows what I know, which is
your
absolutely
real landed price is going to have to be a lot higher because you're going to have to put something in there
yeah.
and make it work. So it's good for what it is, but I mean, I don't really see, it's not really like a turnkey arcade where you're
Yeah.
just going to turn it on and play games. I mean, it's more of like almost like a modding project. Because
Yeah.
you're gonna have to decide, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna put an arcade board in there? Am I gonna put a PC in there? You can't put anything modern in there because it doesn't have a 4K screen.
Yeah.
It's an old school, it's like the resolution is more like the old arcade games. So it's really suited for that more than playing anything like modern, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you probably couldn't hook up a PS5 to it and have it look good because it's not that, it's not set up for that. But
So
I don't know.
I did look at this this new cab, and I don't know. I get the feeling. You remember when the new 4K pinball was debuted? We had that
Yeah.
crazy art. The bubble
The
bobble.
multicade madness with Burger King and like Rainbow Island and like I mean
So
it was all over the place.
I
I
kind
feel
of
like this is kind of the same, is that what you're saying? You were going to
yeah
say, huh? It's kind of the
yeah
same. It kind
yeah
of needs some fine tuning and some polishing for
yeah
sure.
yeah it's all over the place now. Uh, the Killer Instinct, I see, and I could be wrong. I'm not in the influencer group or whatever. I'm not chilling, but I would imagine they're going to do it like with the arcade, the pinball machines. They're going to be different themed arcade cabinets, and Killer Instinct may be the standard one. And with that builder's plate, I'm sure we may have some special edition ones like the Battle Toads that may be coming out. So the other thing, this thing is what 1300 is what they're selling it for.
Mhm. That's
So
well, they really haven't announced anything yet, so no one really knows the price. But that's what I've heard on the internet. Like people are saying that
the
they haven't
speculation.
officially not even given a price for it. So
So it's not officially 1300. That's just rumored mill. So let me back up. Let's talk about the 4K pinball. So when that came out, when they announced that, even if we didn't get the new I don't know, cabinet and the
mhm,
upgrades and the back box, if they had kept it the same pinball machine, but you had to buy the pinball machine in order to be able to get the Zen tables, to be able to get the good tables, I probably still would have bought. I still would have got a new cab just to be able to play the Zen tables. That was the allure.
mhm.
The new back box is a bonus. The new size is everything else is a bonus. But let's be honest. I mean, the ability to be able to play the Star Trek tables and the
Zen,
Snoopy
yeah, Zen's a
play
huge
all
thing.
that was the buying point. That was it for me. The same could be said about this one because what we're going to get 200 games with this one. Um, they're going to have to do more for me to and I'm sure more will be announced. But I would like, and they've signed with Rare and Microsoft. What if they open up the whole Xbox library, but you're only going to be able to get it through this 4K?
Hmm.
The LCD is cool. I think that's really neat that it swaps with the game. I'm
The
interested in
marquee, yeah.
the marquee. Maybe I don't. I want some more information on bring your own game. So
Yeah.
let's be clear about the one sauce and the because there's a lot of confusion on that. There's a lot of people that got mad at games. Oh, you took away one sauce. You did this. At games, one sauce and these use files or everything. That's not at games. That is third party. That is on you.
Mm.
At games redid their product and redid their programming for their own software. It is up to us or Etsy or wherever you're getting your ooze files to be able to adapt to those new changes. Okay. So yes, for me, if you did the upgrade, one sauce went away, but CoinOps is still there. It's just a little bit harder to navigate. Is because the 4K pinball, I don't think CoinOps is on there. It sure wasn't in Cleveland. It you couldn't see it. You didn't have access in Cleveland. So I don't know that you're going to have the option for CoinOps on the 4K pinball. You might be able to through OTG and with your PC. Now, will this have one solid? Will this have CoinOps? Or is it going to be like the 4Ks that go away? That's a big factor.
That is a big factor. I agree, but I don't see them taking that away. I mean, you can always do bring your own game. I mean, the CoinOps to me is just a fancy interface for like looking at the games. It's like a menu system.
Yeah.
So,
But if you don't have a so correct me because I'm still
you can
learning.
still just open up the games through the icons by doing the bring your own game and play them all without having any kind of front end making it look pretty or fancy. You could still play all the games.
Can you play all those games just off their USB, or do you have to have a computer hooked up?
No, just off a USB stick connected to the Atgames product. It works on all of them. Works on the pucks. Works on all of them. As far as I'm aware. But I mean, CoinOps is a pretty front end with wheels where it rotates.
So that would
it's pretty to look at. But as far as just playing the games, it's not really completely necessary.
see that would be good content because if you look at the Facebook groups and the questions, everyone gets so upset. CoinOps is gone. CoinOps is gone, and it's probably a lot of people, myself included. Oh my God, you have to play this, but you got to have CoinOps to be able to play. See, I'm learning something new right now. I thought you had to have CoinOps to be able to play those games. I did not realize that you could play that, and there's tons of people that do not know
You
that.
just go to bring your own game, and they're all in there. They're all in there with icons, and you just click on them and they play. So I mean, the CoinOps is just a fancy front end. It just makes it pretty. It's a pretty menu system, but the bones that makes it work. I mean, I don't see them taking that away from anybody. But if they do, I don't think it would be good for them. I mean, obviously they've built their fan base on it being a multicade. So
Absolutely,
that would be a huge mistake. And I've heard from PK that that's never something they plan on doing because it is part of something that makes Atgames so popular, So I wouldn't worry about it. I'm going to tell you, what if, now just hear me out. What if they're going to have stuff that's better than what we're using now? Because this is a whole new ball game. There's going to be people once it's out, and these people that are way smarter than me get their mitts on it, and they start tinkering, and they start hacking and figuring out how everything works. What's to say we don't get something even better than we've ever had before? Where we can even play more powerful game. Like this chipset's way more powerful.
Yeah.
And so it's I think it's going to be a good thing. But it will require a tiny amount of patience.
Yeah, I'm not poo-pooing on it. Don't think I'm poo-pooing because I'm not pooing.
No,
I just think
that's the reality of it.
I think right now it's at the early stage for
It's
me.
new. Mm-hmm.
For me, the pinball was no brainer. Hey, I'm getting Zen.
Yeah, you can always wait and see too. There's no FOMO to hurry up and rush out and get this. This is going to be their platform for a while, so you don't have to be the early adopter and be the first one on the block to get one. And like for me, I mean, no hate at all, but Killer Instinct is not something that pulls nostalgia heartstrings for me. I literally had the arcade one up, Killer Instinct, for several years and had it in my arcade. So I mean, it's just for me, it doesn't have the pull. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's just because of the kind of games I like. But I think like I said, if Killer Instinct is your jam, I think this is pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah, I would agree. Um, I don't know. It's just it's got a ways to go.
it's got a lot
I'm
of
hope.
purple. It's got a lot of purple. That's all I gotta say. When I saw much purple, I was like, boy, this thing's got a lot of purple on it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it because like I said, it's such vibes of the 4K when it first, it looks incomplete, and I know that's not. I hope that's not going to be the end product. I don't think that will be the end product that we get.
No,
Uh,
they're usually really good about listening to feedback, and I think the feedback's been pretty universal from what I've heard. I mean, they definitely did a lot of things right too. Like they nailed that control panel looks great.
yeah, it
Don't
does.
touch that. That looks perfect. And that's going to enable you to play thousands of games as long as they have the emulation where
Yeah,
you can do it. I mean,
and yeah, there needs to be content out there. There's the Google Dot for Ant Stream. That can be played through the Legends. I didn't know that. I'm just now
I didn't know
learning
that
about that.
either.
So
Really? Wow.
you can get that. You can stream your YouTube. You can stream movies right there on your ALU, which I didn't know that. And AntStream is available through that little Google Dot thing. I
Oh
haven't gotten it
wow.
yet, but it's coming here in the future. So I'm always learning something new with this
Yeah.
with this thing.
AntStreams gets on everything though. They're on the VCS. I even have AntStream on my iArcade. A dead system can run AntStream. That's crazy. Think about that. System that's no longer made runs AntStream perfectly.
Yep.
So that's pretty crazy.
I am adamant, and I don't know where I'm going to put this. I have like no room anywhere, but I still have my childhood Atari. My goal is to
You know, hook
get
that
that
mug
thing.
up.
I'm going to hook that mug up. I still got cartridges, so that's a New Year's resolution there. I want that. I want that
Awesome.
up and going. I've been playing more Atari game on my Legends device, and I forgot how fun
Oh, Atari's great. I love Atari.
Atari is awesome. But looking at the specs on this new, I mean, it's that chip 16 gig going to 64 gig, 27-inch 4K screen. Um, that LCD marquee
Yeah.
that's going to be really cool. And correct me if I'm wrong, but for leaderboards and for tournaments, isn't it going to display? It's
You
supposed to.
can, yeah, you can. I know with the bit else with the bit, I have the bit pixel. You can have it display your high scores and also the leaderboard scores as an option
See,
in the software.
that's gonna be important because if you're like me and you leave your stuff, your cabs on everything, and you're just chilling, you look up and all of a sudden, oh crap, somebody bumped my score. Oh no, you don't. And just get back
No,
on there.
you don't.
No,
Time to
you did.
play.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
You know,
Hey, Goofy Foot.
all I'm saying is, too, that this arcade, it is a little expensive. It is a little expensive, I think. But I mean, you're going from like a 17-inch monitor to a 27-inch monitor. That's 10 inches bigger. That's a
Yeah,
big difference on screen size. 10 inches is enough.
yeah. It's yeah, that's the other side of that. I don't know. We don't know. I guess 1,300, 1,299 is what they're saying. We don't know what the end price is going to
What
be.
do you think they'll launch this at? Like they always do those crazy early adopter sales where like remember the pinballs were like what 1,100 was the cheapest it went if you got it when it first came out.
Quite honestly,
You
since
see them going 1,000 on this?
I see a grand. I see
A
a grand.
grand, 1K.
1K because in 800, 800 if you bought the 4K pinball. Gives us an incentive there. 800 grand if you didn't, and then if you buy the 4K at 12.99, and you can get the introductory price on the. You can buy the ALU 4K at 12.99, and then you can get the 4K pinball for 800. Combo deal.
That would be cool if they did something like that. It'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I think they're missing the boat on the pinball, even on the HD, especially with the Christmas. Sell the 4K and then have a bundle deal with the mini. So you have the big one and a mini one for the kids. The kids have their own pinball machine. They could have done a combo deal with that as well. So, you know, I'm pretty excited about this. I'm interested to see what the future is going to bring on this.
Yeah, yeah,
I, I I think we're still early in the game on this. I think it's an interesting time for At Games to drop this, you know, this news. Um, so I don't know. Like I said, I was a little annoyed at first, and it's growing on me. I'm getting a little excited.
yeah,
Not gonna
yeah.
lie.
Well, it's exciting that there'll be new products in home arcade coming out. So there'll be new things to look at. Besides the same old Pac-Man and Street Fighter and like the same thing over and over and over and over. It's something new.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, let's see what they can do.
And speaking of Street Fighter, I'm not, like I said, I'm not big in arcade one up, and there's a lot, they're not going to the convention here in a few weeks, and there's a lot of talk that they're going to be done. Um, I'm not an arcade one up fan. That the little cabs just never did it, but I don't want to see them go out of business.
No, neither do I.
I think back years. I've got an old elevator action arcade, that I built from the ground up, but long before arcade one up or any of these consoles, and absolutely, love playing it. And it's just, I was thrilled to the moon when, the first time I saw an arcade one up, and disappointed as hell when I played it, but it really spun, I guess, other arcade products. And I don't want to see
Yeah,
anybody go out of business.
yeah. Anything that brings people into this hobby is good. If it's bringing people in and they're getting into it and they're playing games, it's a good thing. So
Yep. So, I think the more the merrier. And if arcade one goes out of business, I think that hurts. There's more of a monopoly, and now the pricing of At Games goes up, and anybody else that goes up, the more options you have. A good option to keep those
yeah.
prices.
Well, when one door closes, another door opens. Though, I mean,
Yep.
you tell me that Hat Games would not be jumping at all kinds of properties if arcade went out of business. They would be.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of the beast. But I
Yep.
think we should it's good to have competition. It pushes them all to do better.
Absolutely.
If there's no competition, there's no reason to improve.
I would
So
agree with that. I would agree with that. So that's about all I have, Papa.
good,
You have anything?
great stream, man. I'm ready to play some Grinch. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to
Yeah.
play some Grinch.
Yeah. I got to get ready for some. I got to go in here and make some fudge for Christmas, and then yeah, I'm going to definitely hopefully post a score. With
Yeah,
there's glad to see there's at least 50 entries right now on the Grinch. Um, I know tournaments in the past they'd been struggling to see 25 or 30,
yeah.
but to see this full of 50, that means people are playing. That people love this table. This is a good one. This is a good one to play.
I'm gonna have to push my score up.
Yeah, yeah, and now that you've seen the ins and outs, you
Oh
can
yeah, I'm excited now.
you can push that score
Let's
out.
do it.
All right, I'm going to sign off. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming on. This is
Sure, everyone have a Merry Christmas.
you too. You have a nice Christmas as well, and
Play some Grinch.
play some Grinch. So I want to see you on the leaderboards. Thanks, guys.
Me a drink, bartender.